Hello and welcome back to the Sahi Pro training series. My dear friends, today I'm going to speak a little bit more about fetching APIs, and there are three really exciting fetching APIs which I feel will add a lot of value in your automation scripts. Number one is called as the count API, number two is called as collect, and the third is called as collect attributes. Now when and where would we be using this? Let me show you directly through a use case. Now let us assume I have a table in front of me like this. Clearly you can notice under the first column, that is name, I have a lot of entries. I have different names. What if, my friends, I wanted to count the number of entries under the table header name? What if this is a use case for me? Well, the count API will easily help you perform this. Let us assume like this, I wanted to write a loop where I keep getting the text of every single element under the table header name. But first I need to know the count of how many times I must do the looping. So count is important. In many use cases we require count. How can you get count? Try to understand what I will do. I am just removing this entire part. Now here what I will do is, first of all, I will use the fetching API called as count. Now please understand, count takes 3 parameters. So I am putting comma and one more comma, and I am leaving some space here so that you can clearly see there are 3 attributes. The first attribute within double quotes, you must tell what is it that you are trying to identify. What I am trying to identify are the cells in which I have names, correct? So what I will do here, I will just go and tell underscore cell. This is what I am trying to identify. Next, within that cells, there could be text, different types of text. Do you want all the text? Do you want any text inside the cell? Do you want such text which only begins from A? Do you want such text which only ends with E? Now you have different expectations, and this is where regular expressions comes into the picture, and the second parameter is always a regular expression, and here I would like to get all the names, and any name can be identified. So within double quotes I will tell dot star, and I am not teaching regular expressions here, but I hope all of you have knowledge on it. Yes, so this is a regular expression which will match any name. Now the third and last parameter is the relational API which you need to mention. Where how did we identify the cell? It was under name, correct? So see, what I will just go and do here is I will tell under what? Okay, this name, what is this name? It's a table header. So see here, I'll just press control, and if I hover over it, it has identified this table header. I will just click on this, automatically it will add it there. So see, how do you read this? Give me the count of the cells in which the text can be anything which is under the table header name. So how you read it is how you understand it. Yes. Now if in case I were to just remove these extra spaces here, and if in case I were to execute it, then 100% you can notice it has given me 10. Yes, perfectly, it has given me 10. Now what if I want only such names which begins with A, or let us assume I want only such names which begins with B. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 names which begins with B. So what I will do is, I will just change the regular expression here, and I will tell, hey man, I want only such name which starts with a capital B. I hope you understand. Now if in case I execute it, clearly you can see you got 4. So I am sure already as automation testers, your brain is able to think of variety of use cases where the count fetching API will play a critical role. Now let me show you the other 2 APIs, which is collect and collect attributes. Now let's begin with collect fetching API. Now in the collect fetching API, please try to understand, what if, forget about count, I want to collect or fetch all this text, every name I want to take it and store it somewhere. Let us assume I want to store it in an array of names, which I will later use. How can we do this? Very simple. Try to understand, it works similarly. First of all, underscore collect, that is the fetching API. It also takes 3 parameters similar to count. First parameter is what you want to collect. What I want to collect is whatever is there in these cells. So I will tell underscore cell like this. Next, a regular expression telling what you want to match. Is any text fine with you? Yes, any text is fine with me. So within double quotes, I will put a regular expression dot star. So anything is fine with me. Next, obviously, is the relational API. Now this particular column that you are collecting is under what, near what, above what, you need to mention that. So I will say this is clearly under. Under what? Watch it. under the stable header called as name, correct? So I will just go here, and if I just hover it, and if I click on this, automatically it will add it there. Now you must understand, name only says collect. So obviously it will fetch it and give it to you. You need to collect it. So what I will do is I will go here and collect it within a JavaScript variable like this. I will call this variable as probably elements. You can call it whatever you want. Now the question is, now look at this carefully, okay? Let us assume what I want to do is I want to get the text. Now I'm just showing you there is an array like this called as elements, inside which these 10 names has come and sat. And obviously indexes are there 0 to 9. Now I want to get the text of the element present in the 0th index. Now how do we do that? Very simple. I will say get text. Get the text present inside what? Present inside elements, $elements, I will tell. $elements of 0, like this. Is this clear to everyone? Now, if in case I were to execute it, clearly you can notice it is giving you the first one. If in case I now tell maybe 5 like this, and if in case I execute it, clearly you can see it is telling you. So I hope all of you understood how this collect API works. Now the only question is, what is this collect attributes? Now please try to understand, what if you want to collect a particular element or elements based on attributes, based on ID, based on the CSS class? What if you want to do that? For example, let us assume I want to collect all the CSS class attributes, not essentially the text. I want the CSS class attribute. So what you can do here is, see here, I'm going to remove this, I'm going to remove this part, and I'm going to make one change. Instead of telling collect, I'm going to tell collect attributes, like this. Understood? Now the moment you say collect attributes, there is one more parameter after the regular expression which you must add, which is you must tell which is the attribute you want to collect. And let us assume I want to collect the CSS class here. Now if in case, and please understand, you need to store the values in order to use them later. Without collecting also, directly it is going to print it. So watch it. If in case I execute it, sorting one is apparently the CSS class. And if you want proof, I can always go here and inspect it and show you. Upon inspecting this particular cell where there are names, one can clearly see that the CSS class is called as sorting one, and which is the output we have also got. So I hope all of you understood, right? So similarly, so let us assume you want the text. Using collect attributes, you want the text. Now you must understand there is no attribute called as text within these cells. So what do you do? So this is where Sahi Pro helps you. If you want the text and you're using collect attributes, what you can do is just replace this class with something called as Sahi Text. If you say Sahi Text, automatically it recognizes that you need the text and it is going to get it for you. And watch it, upon executing, automatically it has given me all the names. I hope this has made a lot of sense to all of you, right? So I'm sure as automation testers, you can think of a variety of use cases to use these 3 APIs which I've mentioned. All the best, and make sure you guys are practicing this, which will give you a deeper understanding of the concepts taught in this video. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.